All right, let's talk about Keon Coleman, and not just him the player. I actually have a film study on this channel about just him the player and what I like about him and kind of my first general thoughts about him and the Bills and stuff like that. But I really want to make a film study focused on how I think he will work with Josh Allen and how I think he'll work in this system. I said it in the past and I believe it, which is a lot of people were kind of mocking the Bills, saying, why would you trade with the Chiefs in that situation? You let them get a receiver. And I think the answer is because I kind of think the Bills got the better receiver. I think Keon Coleman's really good. Certainly, I think fits what they're going to be trying to do more. Like, for example, something like this, where it's going to be man coverage and he's running a route over the middle. When this play begins, you're going to see that, Coleman kind of shows that his ability to cut and his quickness pretty well here. He generates a bit of a window, but, that's good. That's not the only reason I'm showing this play, though. I think what they also like about him is Josh Allen is the kind of guy who he'll give you a chance. If he thinks that he has a receiver who can make a play, he's going to put the ball in that area. And while some people have criticized that about Allen's game, I think the good by far and away outweighs the bad, the occasional interception it will generate. But watch Coleman be able to go up, make a really tough grab in traffic right there. That's something you gotta like, right? When it's it's someone who can get relatively open, and even if the throw isn't the best, can still find a way to make the play. Really good stuff there from Coleman, and this is what he did pretty consistently at Florida State, I would say. Also going over here, this is going to be a go route for Keon Coleman, and it's going to be against zone coverage. Just a little bit of a move to try and generate more space, but this is probably the most exciting thing I think about when I think about Allen and Coleman working together is, like, obviously we know about Josh Allen's cannon for an arm, right? We all know about that, and the fact that he can throw it a mile could pair really well with Coleman's ability to do stuff like what you're going to see on this play, where watch what happens. Coleman's going to run this route. It's off screen for a bit, but it's kind of fake as though he's going over the middle and then continues going deep. And you look at just how much separation he's generated right here. It's fair to say that NFL corners are better than college corners, and we don't know how well these moves will work at the NFL level, but it's not like he just relies on speed to get by these guys. As I mentioned, there was a move here, but in general, the fact that he is a down field threat could be really awesome. You see right here, perfect throw in stride that allows Coleman to get into the end zone for a touchdown, and we definitely could see that in Buffalo, whether it's situations like this where he's just getting a ton of separation and being able to make the catch that way, or whether it's kind of different situations where, it's not fully open, but Coleman's able to go up and make the grab. Either way, it's pretty exciting. There's also situations like this where, so he's going to be off screen right now. He's at the, sort of towards the bottom of the screen, off screen, obviously. But you see that when the quarterback takes a snap, quickly gets the ball to Coleman. Okay, this is now the situation. This is what Buffalo does. They do like to run these wide receiver screens. And in this situation, it's not even a wide receiver screen where you have a blocker in front. It's just simply, can you make this guy miss? Well, here Coleman says, yes, I can. He is able to make that move and actually is able to get a touchdown on that play. So the Bills like to see if they can get the ball just in their talented players' hands, and especially, sometimes defenses are trying to get the ball out of Josh Allen's hands as quickly as possible. So having a guy who can do this is definitely going to work well for Buffalo. And I also think just kind of simple stuff like this. It's a goal line fade, everyone's favorite, the goal line fade right here where, okay, one-on-one matchup. Can your receiver win here? So many times in football, it comes down to this. It's like, can you just have a guy go up and win? Look at how when this play begins, you see, again, throws up there. It's not like this is a ton of separation or anything. And I do wonder if there's a bit of a learning curve there with Allen of figuring out exactly where to put the ball in Coleman's direction to make things work. However, you're going to see that is what happens. Coleman is able to make the grab right there. Really good stuff from him. So yeah, again, these are just the kind of things that you'll want to look for. And it's not just in kind of more basic ways, but also something like this where it's going to be, kind of a similar situation, just further away, where it's still a one-on-one matchup, but now he's at the 21-yard line instead of, kind of closer towards the end zone like he was earlier when he was at the 6-yard line. But look at how when this play begins, once again, it's just going to be, hey, let's throw one up there. Let's take a chance right here. And for the Bills, I could easily see them doing this a lot further down the field, right? Not just, when they're at the 21-yard line, but maybe when they're at midfield trying stuff like this. But again, it's not like Coleman is that open separation-wise. But watch him be able to make this really tough contested catch. It's really good stuff here from Keon Coleman, and this is a lot of what he can bring to the table for the Buffalo Bills. He can make these contested catches, but also he can generate separation as well. So these downfield shots really, I think, would fit very well for the Buffalo Bills, who, we know Allen loves to take shots downfield. So as a whole, what do I make of Keon Coleman to the Buffalo Bills? Well, again, it's one of those things where, first off, you needed a receiver, and that's kind of number one. And I think you're always concerned when you go into the draft kind of needing a position. Are you going to go out and draft a guy who, like, I'll use the Tennessee Titans for an example. They really needed a tackle, and they drafted J.C. Latham, who I thought should have been more of a middle to back half of the first round guy. They drafted him at 7 because it's a position of need. For the Bills, you definitely went in wondering, is that a concern that you might have? Are they going to end up drafting for a position of need instead of, just drafting the best player available? Well, they did a good job of trading down a couple times. So when they finally got Keon Coleman, that's right around when he was projected to go. And to be honest, I think maybe he was slept on a little bit. I do think he's a better player than perhaps he's been given credit for. There is a lot of really good stuff in his game. But more than anything, there were a couple of receivers who went ahead of him. Xavier Legette, obviously Xavier Worthy, who was the guy that the Chiefs drafted. But I think that the Chiefs probably got the receiver they wanted more. I think the Panthers probably got the receiver they wanted more. And I think the Bills probably got the receiver they wanted more. I think that he is someone who can fit what Josh Allen wants out of a receiver more than those other players can, because he can make really good contested catches, and I think he is maybe more of an outside threat. I do think his outside stuff, it works better, or at least I trust it to work better than those other two guys, because, especially like Worthy, I feel like, I like Worthy as a player, but he very much relies on his speed. I think Keon Coleman has a bit more to his game, which just fits the Bills' offense more. Again, the Chiefs do different things, right? So for me personally, it's not just that they got a good receiver that I think is better than pick 33, but they got a receiver who can do a lot of what they really need him to do. Now, is he going to be Stephon Diggs? I don't know. That's always difficult to try and, replace a really good player. But is he going to have the potential to be a really good player? Well, that I do think is the case. That I can definitely see happening. So, yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of really good things to like about Keon Coleman and what he brings to the Buffalo Bills. I'm interested in seeing how it all works out. But, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I do appreciate that. If you want to see more of my content, I have a movie channel. You can check that out. Link is in the description below. A lot of fun stuff on there. I have a good time with it. And there's, of course, plenty more content on this channel. I upload 3 videos a day. So, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that good stuff. But, yeah, thanks.